tutorial series on Amazon Textract. In this video, we will add the signature detection functionality within our existing solution. So basically this is an extension of the part 5 video of this tutorial series. And in part 5 video of this tutorial series, I have covered how to extract text, key value pairs and table information from multi-page PDF file, and then how to parse and process the response and store the output as CSV into the S3 bucket. So now as a part of this video, we are going to extend that solution to add the signature detection functionality. So basically the part 5 video of this tutorial series is a prerequisite for this video. So please go through it. The overall flow that you see on my screen looks something like this. And this is something that we have implemented in the part 5 video of this tutorial series. And this flow will remain same for additional signature detection functionality as well. It's because here we are going to modify things at the code level of the Lambda function. And as far as the modification or updation of the code is concerned, I have already modified the code and pushed the updated code to the GitHub repository. So you can find the link to it in the video description. As a next step, let me quickly walk you through this flow. So the user will upload the PDF file to this S3 bucket. As soon as the user will upload the file, this will trigger the Lambda function, which is responsible for creating the Amazon Textract job. Now once the job is created, Textract service will start to extract the information from the PDF file that user has uploaded. And once all the information is extracted, it will store the response into the S3 bucket. And once the job is completed, it will also send out a notification to the SNS topic that the job is completed. And then this SNS topic will trigger another Lambda function, which is responsible for pulling the extracted information from the S3 bucket and then parsing and processing it into the CSV form. And then finally, it will upload that CSV into the S3 bucket as a final output. Now here one of the dependency that we have for this Lambda function is that it requires the pandas library in order to process the response successfully. So earlier we were creating the Lambda layer for pandas manually and then we were adding that layer to this Lambda function. But now in this video we are going to skip this step. It's because now AWS provide the Lambda layer for pandas library. Okay, so we can directly leverage that instead of creating manually. Now as the next step, let me quickly walk you through the CloudFormation template that we had created earlier. So I had already walked you through this template in the previous videos, but let me quickly, again give you a high level walkthrough of the same. So this is a very simple CloudFormation template, but before we go on, right? So if you are new to CloudFormation, then you can check my tutorial series on AWS CloudFormation tutorials, okay? And the link is in the video description. So here the first thing that we have defined is the parameters. So here we are expecting multiple inputs from the user. The first input that we are expecting is the code bucket name. So what we are going to do is we are going to upload the Lambda function code into the S3 bucket in the form of zip file. Then we are going to provide the reference of that zip file as a part of the input parameters to this CloudFormation template. So here basically we need to enter the name of the bucket in which our Lambda function code is sitting. And then we need to enter the reference, right? So here we have two Lambda function. So the first Lambda function is for job creation. So here we need to enter the reference, right? That where that particular zip file is for this Lambda function. Similarly for the second Lambda function as well, we need to enter the reference of that particular zip file. So we will have a look while we will, deploy this CloudFormation template. Now after parameters, we have resources. So here we are creating multiple resources like S3 bucket, Lambda function, providing all the permission, SNS topics and everything. So first we have S3 bucket that we are creating. And then on this S3 bucket, we have set the trigger, right? So whenever any file gets uploaded into this particular folder, that is async-input. And if the suffix of that file is .pdf, then invoke this job lambda. Okay, so here we have defined job lambda.arn. So whenever any PDF file gets uploaded into this folder within this bucket, then invoke or trigger this job creation lambda. And then here we have defined the job creation lambda over here, and here we have all the properties and whatever configuration that we have to make. So if you want to, understand in depth that what are all these parameters, then I would recommend you to go through the part 5 video of this tutorial series. On line 52, we have defined the permission so that S3 bucket can successfully invoke or trigger the Lambda function based on the upload event. Okay, and then on line number 64, we have defined the Lambda function IAM role. So whichever permission that Lambda function requires in order to execute the business logic successfully, right? So all those permission needs to be defined over here. On line number 81, we have defined or created another Lambda function that is responsible for parsing and processing the Textract response or the information that is extracted by the Textract service. Okay, that is over here. Then, as I mentioned earlier, that this Lambda function has a dependency on the pandas library. So that is where under layers, right, on line number 88 under layers, we have directly defined the ARN of the Lambda layer, which is provided by the Amazon itself. So this is how you can leverage the Lambda layers provided by the AWS. So simply you need to enter the ARN of that particular layer over here. Okay, so that is where we have defined the layers, and then we have environment variables. Then from where this Lambda function should pull the code. So that is where we are expecting the inputs from the user. So pull the code for this parse Lambda function from this S3 bucket, and within this S3 bucket, here is the location of the zip file for this Lambda function. Okay, so it will pull the code from this location and then it will deploy it. On line number 97, we have defined the SNS topic, which is responsible for triggering the parse Lambda function once the job is completed. On line number 106, again we are defining the permission so that this SNS topic can successfully invoke or trigger the parse Lambda function. And then again here we are defining the SNS IAM role, so it's kind of the necessary permission that is required to execute this solution end-to-end successfully. Okay, so now as the next step, we are going to deploy this solution. So let's jump to the AWS Management Console, go to CloudFormation and click on Create Stack. Once you are there, upload a template file, choose a file, and I'm going to upload the file that I have just walked you through. That is Textract async kv table. Open, click on Next, provide the stack name. I will say Textract sign. And then as we discussed, here we have the parameters, and here we need to enter certain information. So the first one is code bucket name. So in which bucket my Lambda function code is sitting, right? So basically it is sitting in the reference bucket code. So I'm going to copy this and paste it over here. In the second parameter, we have to enter the S3 key reference for job creation Lambda. So where is my code for the job creation Lambda? So it is over here, that is lambda underscore create underscore job.zip, and this zip file is sitting in async-kv table-version 1. Okay, so I need to copy the name of this directory, paste it over here and here as well, and then I need to copy the name of the file, that is lambda create job.zip, and paste it over here. Similarly for second Lambda function, which is responsible for parsing the response. So for that, I have this file that is lambda process response.zip, and I'm going to paste it over here. So here you also need to follow the same. So here in this repository, I have the code for both the Lambda function. So you need to clone this repository, open this folder, select this file and create the zip file of it. Same for the another directory, open this directory, select everything, create the zip file for it, upload it to any of the S3 bucket, and then in whichever bucket you upload, provide the reference of that over here as a part of the parameters. Okay, now once you are done with this, click on Next, Next again, I acknowledge, submit. The solution is being deployed via the CloudFormation template, so it will take some time, so let's wait. So now as you can see on my screen, we have successfully deployed the solution. As a next step, let's click on resources. So here are the list of resources that we have created as a part of the solution. So here we have the job Lambda, parse Lambda, S3 bucket, then we have created SNS topic. Basically all the resources that we have seen here along with the permission, is created as a part of the solution. Now as the next step, let's open the job lambda and the parse lambda. And here I will quickly walk you through the modification that I have made to basically extend the existing solution to detect signatures. So here we have the first lambda function that is responsible for creating the Textract job. So it's the same code that we had last time, except on line number 61, I have added signatures as a feature type. So earlier we only had tables and forms. Now here as a part of this solution, I have added signatures so that it will tell Amazon Textract that now along with tables and key value pairs, we are also looking forward to extract the signatures. Okay. So this is one modification in one of the lambda function that is responsible for creating the Textract job. Then here we have another lambda function which is responsible for parsing the extracted information by the Textract service, then format it into the CSV and then upload it to the S3 bucket. So here as a part of this lambda function, I have added one flag on line number 41 that is get signatures equal to true. So that means we want to extract the signatures as well now. Okay. So similarly, we have the parameters for table, key value pair and text as well, right? So if you want to extract all this information, then set it to true, else you can set it to false. So that's one as a part of the lambda function.py. Now this parameter is being passed as a part of this, function that is process underscore response. And this function is within helper.py file. So let's open that. So helper.py is under helper folder. And here it is. Now let's look out for that particular function that is process underscore response. And here again, I have added get signatures as a parameter equal to true. Let's move down to line number 157. So here we are calling another method that is process underscore response, which is under parser.py file. Now here within parser.py, we are invoking this process underscore response, and within this function on line number 59, we have defined if self.getSignatures. So that means we are checking if this flag is true, then we are going to invoke this function that is getSignature underscore information. Now this function is defined on line number 128, and this is responsible for extracting the relevant information of the signature from the Textract response. Now as a part of this function, what we are doing is we are extracting the page number, then the signature and the confidence score. So page number is for on which page that particular signature appeared. And then we have signature. So signature is basically arbitrary name, right? So that is signature 1, signature 2 and signature 3, right? That we are defining over here. And then the confidence score of the identified or the detected signature. Okay, so these three information we are extracting from the response. Now once we have this information, we are going to return this, that is page, signature and confidence. This information will get stored into sign underscore info, that is on line number 161. Finally, as a part of the response of this function, that is process underscore response, we are returning table information, key value pair, textual information and the signature information to the helper.py on line number 157. So here we will get table information, key value pair, text and signature. Now once we get this information, we will move on to line number 170. So here again we are checking the flag. If if we want to extract the signatures, then we will call this function that is save signature CSV. So this function is basically responsible for storing that particular information as the CSV into the S3 bucket. So this will expect three parameters. So first one is signature. So this is the response that is coming from parser.py, then the job ID and the bucket name. So now let's quickly have a look at this function as well. Now within this function, what we are doing, we are defining the key that where we want to store this information. So we want to store this information into the signatures folder into the S3 bucket. And within that folder, we want to create another folder with the name of job ID. And within that job ID folder, we want to save that file as signature underscore info.csv. And then on line number 56, we are defining the data frame, right? So bringing all the information into the CSV. And finally, on line number 52, we are invoking upload to S3 function, which is responsible for uploading the CSV file to the S3 bucket. So this is all the modification that I have did as a part of the signature detection functionality. Now as a next step, we are going to test this functionality. So for that, we will go back to the CloudFormation template, and then we are going to open this S3 bucket that we have created as a part of the CloudFormation template. So now here we need to create one folder. So which folder we have to create? So if you remember, then while taking you through this CloudFormation template, I have mentioned, right, that when should create job lambda function should get triggered. So whenever any .pdf file gets uploaded into this folder, that is async-input within this S3 bucket, then our job creation lambda should get triggered. So for that, we need to create this folder first, that is async-input. So let's create it. Create folder. Now once the folder is created, we are going to upload all the inputs that we want to be processed in this folder. So here I have this file that is form.pdf. So let me quickly show you this. So it has 2 pages into it, and in page 1 here we have the signature, that is Smith John M, basically a digital signature. And then in another page here we have something that looks like signature, that is John Smith, and basically this is the document that we are going to upload to test our solution. So I'm going to upload form.pdf. Click on upload. Now while this gets processed, let me quickly also open Textract. And then I will click on try Amazon Textract. And here I'm going to upload the same document. And as a part of this document, I want to extract signature. Okay, apply configuration. So while this is being processed, let's go back to our lambda function. So what was the flow? So we uploaded the file to this S3 bucket, and this should trigger the job creation lambda function. Okay, so let's have a look. So this is our job creation lambda function. Let's click on monitor and click on CloudWatch logs. And we should be able to see the invocation. So as you can see, this lambda function got invoked successfully, and the job is also created successfully. So we are good here. Now what will happen? Once it creates the Textract job, and once the Textract finished the processing or extracting the information from the PDF file, it will send a notification to the SNS, and then this SNS topic will trigger our second lambda function. So let's have a look at the logs of the second lambda function. So click on monitor, view CloudWatch logs. So here also we have the invocation. Let's open this. And if you see, then it says parsing completed. That means this lambda function ran successfully. And now we should be able to see the output into this S3 bucket. So as you can see, here we have the respective directories for key value pairs, signatures, tables, and text. Okay, so whatever information that you want to look at, you can go into the respective directory. But as a part of this video, we are interested in signatures. So let's open this. So within signatures, we have another folder with the name of the job ID. And within this folder, we have signature_info.csv. So let me quickly download this. And let me open it. So here we have page number. So that means on page number 1, Textract detected one signature with the confidence score of 63. Then on page number 2, it identified 2 signatures with the confidence score of 10 and 15 respectively. So let's have a look in the Textract console. So this is the document that we have uploaded. If we click on signatures, then here you should be able to see signature 1 on page number 1 with 63% of confidence score. So this is fine, right? This looks good. But what about the other 2? So if I click on this, this also looks good, but the confidence score is quite low, that is 11%. But this is not correct. Signature 3 is not correct because the thank you is being identified as the signature with the confidence score of 15%, right? So that is not true. So maybe to kind of filter out such results, right? So you can go ahead and put some sort of threshold that if the confidence score is more than 90%, then only we will consider it as a signature, else not. Okay. But I see that this is not good, right? As a part of the solution, we only detected the signature that is appearing in the document page, right? And then we basically extracted that information with the page number and the confidence score, and that's all. But let me know in the comment section if you want me to cover a use case around signatures, like for example, signature verification. So let me know if you are interested in such use cases in the comment section. So guys, this is the overall solution that I wanted to cover as a part of this video. So this is how you can detect the signatures that is appearing in the documents. Apart from that, as a part of this parser lambda function, I'm working on the optimization of this code. So stay tuned to this GitHub repository. So again, let me know in the comment section if you want me to cover a use case around signature detection and some sort of, signature verification. So guys, that's all for this video. Until that time, if you want me to do tutorial on any use case or service, then please leave them below and I will try my best to come up with a tutorial as soon as possible. And if you have any queries or comments, then again please leave them below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and see you next time.